Hey guys, welcome to the POS podcast. Saber's not here this week because
We
he
killed
started his
him.
new job today and he had a lot of stuff to do. So, instead, I'm having my friends Tom and Matt co-host with me. Say hi.
Hi.
Like,
Or
comment,
professionals.
subscribe. Oh wait, this isn't YouTube.
No,
I've-
it will be on YouTube.
Oh,
so,
like,
yeah.
comment, and subscribe this, and then subscribe to my channel, and maybe Matt's channel too. I don't know.
Maybe man.
Yeah, you whatever.
So, how are you guys doing today?
Not too bad, sir.
Feeling like a piece of shit just to keep with the tone of the show.
Yes.
Oh, did it.
I did it! No,
Well,
I'm good.
me and Matthew are preparing for Snowmageddon, which is
Yeah.
apparently
Yeah.
on our neck of the woods.
Northerners.
Yeah, fucking gross.
Everybody, all my friends in the lovely UK and all the European countries are all like, oh my god, I hope you're okay. And I'm just like, I'm gonna be fine. Alright? Unlike your country that goes into shutdown when there's 3 inches of snow. I will be good.
Or see,
You know
my
how to-
problem right now is everyone I'm talking to who's responding to me, and I'm just like, oh fuck, there's gonna be 3 feet of snow today. Are you fucking kidding? And they're just like, that sounds fun. I never get snow. I'm like, look, listen, listen. You're ignorant on this topic. Don't fucking talk to me. It's fun watching it come down, and then you realize everything you know and love is buried. You have to dig it out with your bare hands. So fuck yourself. Snow is the devil. Okay.
See, when we get snow, it's there for like a couple days and then it's gone.
We still haven't gotten rid of all our snow from the last snowstorm, which wasn't even that much of a storm. This is gonna be here until fucking April. Okay?
And if
Fuck.
not, if the snow is not like readily like available, like just like around us, it'll be in mounds, like where the malls are and stuff like that. Because they
Right.
they basically put them in these huge piles, and then the sun and the weather just starts to dehydrate the snow until it becomes nothing but this big plastic whatever.
And then
And
like the
it's-
weather
it's-
will be nice out, like it won't be cold enough for snow, but the mounds will still linger on for another couple weeks, and they'll just slowly die a horrible, painful death. So that's the ritual. That's how it
Right.
goes.
Well then.
What
Weather.
about you? What are you prepared for?
Weather's pretty nice here.
Well, you can go fuck yourself. Okay? Okay. Mister, I have no snow. I'm gonna get Google Fiber in my state.
Yeah, hopefully that will actually, like, be here. It'll probably be in Raleigh, but it's not probably going to be around where I live. But good news is that I actually do have better internet now, so streaming is going to be a lot easier.
So now you're with the rest of civilization.
Yes!
Now you can upload and download at a relative speed.
Now you can watch porn in 720p.
I know, right?
Oh. My goodness. 720p porn. I'm not
Anyway, we're going to move on to news stuff, and then the second half of the show, you can ask us questions. Our Twitter handles are linked beneath us, and you can ask us questions on Twitter, and we'll answer it on Twitter. Or during the show, the questions that are asked on Twitter. Anyway, yeah.
To us.
So,
to me.
the first piece of news is something that I'm excited about. I'm not sure about you guys. Is they had the new Nintendo Direct that happened this month. Was the first of the year for Nintendo, and they announced a bunch of different things. One of them was a new Fire Emblem game, which I'm pretty excited about. I loved Awakening on the 3DS. And this
I
one looks-
admittedly didn't watch this. Is this going to be for Wii U or 3DS?
3DS.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was wondering if when I first saw it, I was wondering if it was the Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei that was announced like a while back, and we haven't really heard anything from it yet. So, but that wasn't it. This is just a brand new Fire Emblem that they're putting on the 3DS. It looks really cool though.
Mm-hmm. I need
but-
to get myself one of those.
I forgot the what they said. It was like the same director of something else. Crap. I forgot the director that's doing it, but it's from another famous like RPG series. Anyway, other things, they showed like new footage of Xenoblade Chronicles X with like exploration in that, and that looks really amazing. I
That
can't wait
should
to
be
get my
fun.
hands on that. And they also announced like another wave of amiibo figures, the wave 4 for Smash Brothers, and also a new wave of like Super Mario figures. So that confirms that they're going to have more figures of the same character. So
Now, are there going to be any like real differences in between all of them?
only for like the same character, only just the way they're posed and the way they look. Like for the Mario that's from Smash Brothers, it's going to look like the Mario from Smash Brothers, and the Mario from the Super Mario series is going to look more like Mario from regular Mario games.
All right, so it's all purely
Yeah.
cosmetic. There's
It's
nothing
purely
different.
cosmetic, but you can still like use it for the games that their functionality works with. Like Mario can still be used for the Super Mario can still be used for Smash Brothers if you want to.
The Super Mario.
Yeah, Super Mario.
I still have
Mario.
I still have mine in the box. I still have not opened it.
Oh yeah, the Pikachu. I still need to
Yeah.
get that. I want to get at least the original 8 from the like the first game.
Amiibo are a scam, and I will not participate.
Yeah, I just wish that like Nintendo would open up a store online where you can order them from, because like scalpers are
Gamers,
dicks.
man. Gamers confuse me. Alright? DLC. Fuck DLC, it's fucking bullshit. And day one DLC and fucking on-disc DLC, you guys are dumb. But if you put your DLC in a little plastic figure and announce it, this is our day one physical DLC, then it's like, this is so cool, I'm gonna buy 50. Blah.
I just want them because of the figures.
Yeah, mhm.
Like I didn't even care about the DLC or anything like that. I just want the figures. But anyway,
I was actually gonna say that. Ask that. The thing with the scalpers, the freaking like, is that like a thing like everywhere, or is that like just like a specific like?
like what
like-
with are you talking about like in America?
Well, yeah, I mean, because like I remember there was like a big deal with like somebody buying all the like which
Yeah,
figure
the
was it again?
Rosalina ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the pre-orders.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna sell it for $1,000,000.
I think it's mainly in America and the UK. I don't think it's a really big problem in Japan at all.
It's because people in Japan are dicks.
But
We bombed the shit out of them, and now they're all like, okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
whoa,
Whoa. It's true. Anyway, what else you got, Peter? What else happened?
What?
let's
Shut
see.
up.
I'm trying to think of like, oh yeah, they announced the new Nintendo 3DS, which is coming in next month. And they also announced like different editions of them, which scalpers got their hands on really quick. Like mainly the Majora's Mask edition that they announced.
Isn't it like $500 now to get one?
Yeah, like they're all over eBay. There's like 400 listings of like people who snagged up pre-orders and are like, I'm gonna resell it for double the price. So
Well,
before it's even out.
capitalism at work.
There's also
That's-
like the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Edition, which looks really cool.
I'm gonna get one in red.
And let's see. What was really interesting is that they're not bringing over the smaller version of it.
Which is the one I would have bought, those bastards.
Yeah, I kind of wanted that one. So, like, Europe's getting it, but we're not.
It's because America, home of the Big Mac. We don't want little things, right? Big Macs, big dicks, and big DSs. There we go. That's how America does it.
Everything's getting
Yeah.
bigger though. iPhone is bigger.
Yeah, I think that's all mainly like the big stuff that was announced on the Direct.
Did I say anything about Star Fox yet?
No.
Fuck them. Moving
No.
on.
It probably won't be anything about that until E3.
The only two games I really care about from Nintendo right now is new Star Fox and anything about a new Pokemon Snap.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still waiting. Someday,
Pokemon
dream lives
Snap.
on.
Oh.
Okay. And the next thing is another thing from Nintendo. Is like the only other thing is Club Nintendo is shutting down, and that was like a rewards program for if you register your games or consoles, you get little coins, and you can get either downloadable games that you would normally buy through the virtual console, or you could get like physical items that they mail to you.
They want
And
you to spend real money now.
Hmm?
I said they want you to spend real money now.
Well, didn't they say that they're introducing a new
yeah, they
rewards
said they were
program
going to
in the
make a
spring?
new rewards program, but it's not going to be like Club Nintendo, so I'm not sure what they plan on doing.
Right.
But like these physical items you couldn't get anywhere else. You could only get them through Club Nintendo, unless you went on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I noticed that over the past couple of years, the physical items started to dwindle, and they didn't make that many interesting things anymore, because they used to have it where you get like a Game and Watch from them, or like a Game and Watch collection on the DS, and that was like only through Club Nintendo.
They
But
still made Game and Watches.
no, this was just like a specific thing for Club Nintendo. They remade the Game and Watch ball for Club Nintendo like participants.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, it was like 1,000 coins or something.
I'm assuming that's a lot of coins.
Yeah, you'd have to like get a lot of games to like register to do that.
So you might have probably been able to afford it easily then, because I mean.
Yeah, like I didn't save up though, so every
I
time
was
like,
making
saw...
a joke, but you totally just went with it straight. I'm just like, you freaking nerd.
Yeah, but they're gonna replace it with something else. Who knows what it's gonna be, because I can't imagine it being anything like.
They might just be retooling it for strictly digital goods, just because
it might
it's
be
cheaper.
doing that. So
maybe people are just too lazy to save up all the coins for the physical items. I'm assuming those cost a lot more than like, here's a download for an NES game you played for the last 20 years.
Because downloads don't cost them anything.
Right.
So, but I'm about to hit like platinum status for this year, which is this will be the first year I've actually done that.
And the last.
Yeah, and the last year. So, I'm hoping whatever they send for the platinum status members will be good, because they would send out stuff for gold and platinum status members, like to people's addresses.
They're gonna send out a thank you note.
Thank you for being a member of Club Nintendo for this long. Here is your commemorative plaque that we printed out on paper, because fuck giving you something for real.
As a consolation, here's some
tuna.
Okay, switching gears. Instead of talking about Nintendo, let's talk about Sony at at CES that happened earlier this month.
Yeah, it was the first week of January.
Yeah, the first week of January. And Sony announced a new Walkman that they're gonna release.
Boo!
For $1,200.
Stupid.
It only plays music.
Stupid.
It doesn't play like video files or anything.
They gotta capitalize on Guardians of the Galaxy now.
But yeah, they said they're like trying to market it towards audio files, but I'm like,
What kind of audiophile wants to listen to a cassette tape?
Let me tell you something, alright?
It sound like shit.
Audiophiles...
Oh no, the Walkman is digital.
I was gonna say, let me tell you something about audiophiles right now. Audiophiles believe in every, like, just essence of the word, a digital format ruined music. So, for Sony to be like, this is for the audiophiles, they're just gonna be like, no! I want to use my vinyl, and I'm gonna put it in my record player. So unless you make a vinyl player, I don't want it! So...
That's pretty much how it goes.
This is pointless, no one's gonna buy it, and it's way too much money for just a music player. It's just
Sony once again proving how out of touch they are. Like, it was funny, there was like an article I was reading about Sony a couple weeks ago, and they finally realized after like 20 years, they're like, wait a minute. The only product that people really care about from our company is PlayStation.
And PlayStation's doing really well right now.
PlayStation stuff instead of selling TVs, and it's just like, 15 years ago. Good to see you're finally joining us.
Like PlayStation 4 is doing the best out of the big three right now, and like, why are they focusing more on that than like in all their other stuff that they don't need?
They're dumb, that's why.
You know, and it's not even like the whole audiophile like aspect that bothers me the most about this particular product. It's just the fact that, you know, they're trying to cater it as a mobile music playing device without even thinking about the fact that these stupid little things exist to put it all in one place, because people don't want to carry multiple things around. If I was an audiophile, and I mean, I'm an audio engineer, so I would like something that plays audio really good, but I'm not gonna want to be bothered to carry around 2 devices. It's just no
Right.
way. So even at its core, I wouldn't want it. I just there's nothing that it can do that any of this can already do that make me want to buy it. That would convince me otherwise. So for them to even cater it towards audiophiles is absolutely ridiculous. It's going to, I think, in my personal opinion, it's just going to plummet. It's going to fail, like everything else they try to do.
What he said.
All right. Well, speaking of Sony, it was actually confirmed that they're going to have a deal with Marvel for having Spider-Man in upcoming Marvel films. Not having it in his own film, but being in other Marvel films. And played by a different actor.
I still want it.
Yeah.
I still want it. Finally.
Definitely.
Spider-Man, my homie.
Like, I can't wait until...
I'll miss Andrew Garfield, but I don't care. As long as it's not Tobey Maguire again.
Yeah. Hopefully, like, which movie do you think they're going to start showing him in? Because now that they've done that, it was like...
The deal was for Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
So it's going to be...
But are they
Avengers
going to start
Infinity
with that, or are they going to start earlier?
I'm assuming
Because...
that's probably the movie... If they do anything, they'll probably like find a way to like integrate the plot of the next Spider-Man movie into...
Yeah, though,
Marvel
no,
cinematic
it
thing.
won't be the next Spider-Man movie, because it's going to be a different actor. Unless, like, Sony is just not going to do another Spider-Man movie.
I don't know. We don't know much about this deal other than the fact that it's apparently happening.
Yeah, because we already know that
I just want
Avengers 2 is
them
coming.
to get rid of fucking Sony out of Spider-Man entirely because they can't write a movie to save their fucking life.
So, like, Avengers 2 is coming out this year, Ant-Man's coming out this year, and then next year we get Captain America Civil War, and what else do we get next year?
I don't know. We need a chart to keep track of it all.
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, the earliest they could probably do, maybe Black Panther, I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know if they'll start integrating him or not. We'll have to see how that works out.
Yeah, it would be really awesome to see him in Civil War.
Dude, he better be in Civil War. He was a huge part of Civil War in the comics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see how
they would start filming that this year.
That's true, they would. Because that's coming out a couple years from now, so...
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was a cool comic book. I really hope they don't fuck it up. Iron Man and Captain America punching each other in the face. It was awesome. And Tony Stark made Spider-Man this new cool suit of armor that was made of metal and had giant spider legs on the back that could, like, pinch people. It was cool.
All right, speaking of movies, the Oscars is going on, or not going on, but there was the nominations for the Oscars. And one particular movie was snubbed, and that was the Lego movie.
I don't know how they can do it! How? Why?
Let's see. I gotta look up the nominations for animated movies.
Was it because it had Will Ferrell in it? I mean, because I understand. He might be obnoxious, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on. President Business was great.
I loved it. Everything about that movie.
Yeah, Lego Movie was definitely one of the best movies of the year. And the fact that people don't fucking give it the recognition it deserves is bullshit. But you see, there are people like my mom. My mom watched Lego Movie and was like, eh. And my little sister watched it. She was like, eh. I mean, my older sister came out. We were just like, fucking, oh my god!
It's so good.
And they were just like, it was pretty bad. I'm just like,
Your younger sister's too young to understand the sentimental meaning behind every message that movie delivered at the end.
My mom isn't, though. She's just dumb, I guess.
I was gonna say, your mom is...
Oh!
I'm not... I don't want to say break out any mama insults, but... I mean, she is the one that cracks out your internet, so...
Okay. The nominations for animated feature film are Big Hero 6, The Box Trolls, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Song of the Sea, which I haven't seen yet because it hasn't released here yet and it's not online anywhere. And The Tale of Princess Kaguya, which me and Matt and Hirasashi watched recently.
I have not
And-
watched the other one, the first one you just mentioned. What was it again?
What,
Hero.
Big Hero 6?
I have not watched that yet.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps making a big deal about it, and I keep expecting it to be good. But then when I go to watch it, I'm probably just gonna be like, I don't
It
know.
was like me and I think it was Ashley. No, it was either Ashley or Rachel. We were talking about it. Big Hero 6 is like a lesser version of Frozen. In fact, that it wasn't as blown up by people, but it was better. So like the actual product was better, but the hype for it was like overhyped, but not to as much a degree as Frozen was.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it,
And
it
see,
was
that's
okay.
that's definitely like my initial fear of like watching it because like Frozen was like blown up, and then as soon as I watched Frozen, I was like, this definitely doesn't deserve the recognition that like it got at all.
Yeah.
At least I don't feel that way.
I
mean,
agree.
I'm a lot more excited for the next Disney animated movie, which it isn't actually happening this year. It's happening next year. They don't have a movie this year. The next movie they're doing is called Zootopia.
Zootopia.
I wonder
Yeah.
why Paleo wants to watch a movie called Zootopia.
It's got animal people in it.
Oh, you animal people, you say? Well, I'm gonna jump right on this train.
The furry movie, finally.
Exactly.
They're
F8.
mainstream.
I can't wait to see all of the porn.
There's gonna be so much.
Oh Jesus Christ, you're right.
Yeah. Though
My God.
Absolutely insane amounts of it.
So Big Hero 6, Box Trolls, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Song of the Sea. Well, like I said, it hasn't really released here, and we can't see it anywhere online. Then The Tale of Princess Kaguya.
I liked that.
That was really good.
I definitely like that. Box Trolls, I don't know. I liked it. I didn't like it that much.
Yeah.
What was the other one again?
How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Okay, yeah, that was good. It was as good as a sequel can get.
Yeah. I still
But-
really want to see Song of the Sea because that's about like a girl who turns into a seal, and it's from the same like animation.
Peleo's
studio.
had dreams like that, so.
It's from like the same animation company that made Secret of Kells, and that looks really cool.
Right. That's cool though. No, that looks good. I'm lying. I don't know what it looks like.
I've only seen Big Hero 6 and
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon on that list, so.
You haven't seen
I'm-
Box Trolls?
No.
Really?
It did not appeal to me from the trailer, so I never
It does
really bothered.
look really meh. But like the second time I watched it, I appreciated it more.
And
like-
I had the same thought
Yeah.
as you, Tom, because when I first saw it, I thought this looks something kind of obnoxious. Like, what's that Despicable Me? Like the little villains. The
Oh
little,
yeah.
little
Yeah,
thing
the
that I was like,
minions.
this looks like just as obnoxious as that. So I didn't want to touch it. But then when you were like, hey, we're gonna watch this, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot because I have nothing else better to do. It actually didn't turn out as bad as I thought it was gonna be. The characters are actually a lot more likable, and there's some funny jokes here and there. It's definitely out there for this kind of film because you expect it to be completely different, but it's good. I did. There were some good moments in that film, so I would give
Yeah,
it.
and it's like
a
the
shot.
best stop motion that exists from Leica. So
Mhm.
I guess.
All right. what?
I guess I'll check it out then.
Oh. Anyway, next topic is Kiss recently did a collaboration with a Japanese band, and
I
they did
Yes.
an animated music video.
You showed me that
They did.
this like earlier. This like you showed that to me, and I was like, wow, you know something? Seeing Kiss animated, I can actually see them being anime villains.
Yeah.
Because they look exactly like anime. You can throw Kiss as a band in one piece, and they'd probably fit right in.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, they totally would.
But yeah, this comes from the same animation director of Kill la Kill.
Yes.
So
It looks very much like a
it
Studio
looks
Trigger.
very much like Kill la Kill.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting to see Kiss planting themselves in like relevant little pieces like this every now and then, because they're not really like the kind of band to be like totally out there and commercial anymore, like they used to be back in like maybe like I feel like the last
The
time
80s,
they were actually
like
yeah
in the 80s, they were really commercial.
Yeah, very commercial. I feel like maybe back in like the mid '90s they were still breaking out into these big appearances and stuff like that, but like nowadays they've been fairly quiet. So, but like in the past like 15 years, they've done like certain things that they've snuck their way somehow into being like, we still exist. We're still
exactly.
And like this is one of those things that they just did that I feel like is another one of those little things. It's just like, we're still a band and we still look good with our face makeup. It's like and it's cool to see
we're
them
still doing this at 60.
Right. I mean, and you know something, not for nothing, they all still look pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, face makeup does wonders. Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
face makeup does wonders.
Exactly.
Like, I remember there were times where like he would take off his face makeup, people would be like, put it back on.
The thing that I noticed about the music video that I thought was funny is that like it was animated and I was like, this is really cool. And then like a minute and a half into it, they just go into live action. And it's like, I'm a lot less interested now.
Right.
It's like
they're kind of weird. Yeah.
It's like they went to the guy and they're like, we're gonna give you this much money to make an animated music video, and he's like, I'll do like 1 minute for that. Are you kidding me? It's way too little money. They're like, fine, do 1 minute. See if we care. And then he did, and then that's all they used.
And then most of the 1 minute was like still shots anyway, with the tongue going.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, spite you motherfuckers. There's like half the amount of animation that I'm actually doing. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what happened.
That was probably an easy like $10,000 though.
Yeah.
Or
I
however
want to know how much that actually got. Probably like a fuck ton more than that.
Right.
It hurts. It hurts my soul with the truth.
Well, speaking of animation, it was recently found out that Steven Universe isn't getting any more reruns on Cartoon Network.
Yep.
Like, they're still producing new episodes, but there's not going to be any more reruns during the weekdays.
I don't know.
Why? I don't know.
They're getting ready to cancel it.
But they've already ordered. Let's see, they've already ordered 104 episodes total from the people to make 104 Steven Universe episodes. So why are they canceling the reruns?
Maybe it's because they want to use that space for whatever, get them more viewership.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
I think they said they were replacing it with
Gumball.
Yeah, Gumball and Uncle Grandpa.
Gumball,
People besides Bat watch Uncle Grandpa. Really? That really
Nah, dude, to be completely honest, the first couple episodes were really good, but then they changed the animation style, and then they I don't know, I think they may have gotten like a different writer or something like that, and now I don't really like it that much.
I've only seen the first one. That's all I saw. That's all I needed to see.
I liked the first couple episodes. I thought there was like a really old charm behind it that was really really retro, and I thought this is really cool. This is like totally like just like one-shot humor, and I liked it. But then like the new episodes, for some reason, they like capitalized on the fact that it was one-shot humor, and it became too like I guess too Tim and Eric for my taste. I don't know, like after a while I was just like, all right, I can't really sit down and watch this show because now it's a little bit too ridiculous. Yeah. I think the premise of it's funny, like, I'm Uncle Grandpa, and like, you know, who's Uncle Grandpa? Oh, he's he's everybody in the world's uncle and grandpa. Like, you know, it implies that the whole world is just like this one big pool of incest, and I think that's kind of funny. And what's really funny is if you say that in person, like if you just say that to somebody, normally they will ask the same question. Uncle Grandpa, who's Uncle Grandpa? And it gives you the opportunity to just be like, Uncle Grandpa, why? He's everybody in the world's uncle and grandpa. It's just like, you feel like a fucking asshole, and I enjoy that, so.
I enjoy being an asshole, therefore I love the show.
Yeah, but Gumball I can understand, and
yeah,
I guess Uncle Grandpa brings in viewers for some reason.
I do like Gumball.
Yeah. Gumball's fantastic.
Yeah, Gumball's really good. It's very funny. But Steven Universe is like a show that's actually starting to get a lot of lore going into it, and it's strange that they're maybe Cartoon Network just does not like story-driven shows.
I mean, that would make sense. I mean, Gumball and Uncle Grandpa aren't very story-driven. I mean, there's more of a universe within the world of Gumball than there is in Uncle Grandpa, because all the characters that show up in Uncle Grandpa are always going, like, you only get two constantly consistent characters. Everybody else is completely new, completely random, and as as the episode ends, they just cut your ties with that character and just like, okay,
Right.
on to the next. And I mean, Gumball isn't like that, because in Gumball there is like reappearances of other characters, so there is a universe within like there's like a small, like there is like some continuity within the show, but it's just as chaotic, and the stories are just as random as a child's life would be, because every day of a child's life is just new and it's so different, it's so fresh, and it's just like, what are we gonna do today? What's gonna be the thing that we try to find out today? So that's what I like. It has a very innocent charm to it, and I think that's why it appeals to a lot of people, because all the things that these characters go through are very much all the things that we probably went through at one point when we were kids. So it's very relatable, and they do it in a very funny and like fantastically humorous way. I can't speak.
Twist
I
said
can't
something
speak
about
that, so.
Adventure Time. She said it's hella story driven. Not to begin with. Like the first couple seasons don't really have that many story driven episodes. Like it's not until the later seasons where they actually do that. Yeah. And I guess because Adventure Time is established, they're allowed to do that.
Yeah, Adventure Time just like is huge at this point, so people will watch it anyway. Yeah. And like, even though I think the whole thing is with Cartoon Network, even if you just look at how they craft their advertisements and stuff, and like the way they promote their network at this point, I think their target demographic that they're trying to appeal to has an incredibly short attention span. And I think the content that like works well with that is what they're promoting. You know, Adventure Time, there is like a complicated story going on with it, but you can drop into an episode and like a lot of the times it's just like this weird non sequitur 11 minutes of like bizarreness. And then Gumball has non-sequential storytelling, because it's just like a story of the week kind of deal. Uncle Grandpa's Uncle Grandpa. You know, regular show doesn't have any really like
it does have
storytelling like that. It has recurring characters.
Yeah,
but
it has recurring characters, and it does have like a certain relationships that go on.
But like you can jump into all those shows whenever you want. You can't really do that with Steven Universe as much. It's much more like reliant on its lore, and I think that's probably why, like, just for the audience that they're developing on there, it doesn't really mesh as much, and like it's harder to watch reruns. Like in the middle of the week, you just drop into something at random. Yeah. But then I think there's people who are watching it on a weekly basis when new episodes come out that are caught up, and that's who's really more watching the show.
Yeah.
That's a good point to bring that up, because I've never, like, I'll like admit I've never watched an episode of that show in my life, and people always be like, "Oh, it's great," but like, again, like, I don't like to drop into shows like that, because if they are that story driven, then I'm going to drop into an episode and not really know what's going on. So that requires me to go and find all the other episodes and then watch it all the way up to that point. And who knows if I'm really going to be that invested in the show at that point. So there is a lot less potential for new viewership through that show as a rerun show, like you said. So it's a very good point you bring that up.
Yeah. I think we answered why it's not getting reruns. But somebody actually brought up something in chat that I forgot to put on the list, but is Star versus the Forces of Evil premiered earlier this week.
Yeah.
Or last week. Did you see that?
I did watch it.
Cool. What'd you think?
I was pleasantly surprised about how much I enjoyed it. I was not expecting much because it's a Disney Channel show, but I thought
Gravity Falls is.
Yes. Yeah. But like Gravity Falls is like this weird, odd, like anomaly of perfection amongst a sea of shit. Yeah. So I was not expecting much from Star vs. the Forces of Evil, but the plot was really loose. Like it was just like, here's like a very quick kind of like synopsis of why these things are happening.
Yeah, I think it's because it's an 11-minute show and not a 22-minute show.
Like you can't really think too much about the story in that show, at least from the first episode so far, because like I don't know how I feel about Marco's character, because on the one hand I thought it was a really nice surprise that like he started fighting, because like they built him up that whole time to be like this coward character, but then he's like, I know karate and I like to beat up monsters. It's like, that's cool, but it doesn't like mesh with anything we've learned about his character thus far. Yeah. So I don't know how I feel about this. And then the storytelling, like why didn't the parents just take the wand away and stuff? So like the story is like plot holes.
Yeah, like people answered that on the video I did, and they said because it's tradition. Well, that doesn't mean anything.
It's a really fun show though. The characters are written
very
really
fun.
well. The animation
rarely use anything.
The animation I thought was really good for a couple of reasons. I thought first of all, it's not trying to be Adventure Time. I think way
Right.
too many modern cartoons now are trying to look like Adventure Time. That really simple, like geometric character design, and I'm sick of it at this point, you know.
Yeah.
And this show has a very like a visual style very much its own, and the
Yeah.
keyframing and like the animation, like the poses are really like they're not stiff. Most Flash
Yeah.
shows are drawn really stiff, but there's a lot of like energy in the animation of this show, which I found really appealing and refreshing.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot. Well, one of the things is the creator was storyboardist for Wander Over Yonder, and that kind of shows because the way the characters look do kind of look a bit like Wander Over Yonder-esque, except for in a human universe. Because Wander Over Yonder is all aliens. There's like no humans at all. But for this, like they're like humans. It's what I imagine humans would be like in the Wander Over Yonder, like in that cartoon. And the motion is a lot like it too. And this is also Flash animated, so it's like the best human animation I've seen from Flash animation.
Yeah, it's really good.
I can't think of anything else that was Flash animated that looks this good for humans. So, I mean, the only other show that I know right now that I'm currently watching that has humans in it is Littlest Pet Shop, and that looks stiff as hell.
It's pretty bad.
DHX, they got to work on their humans.
Yeah. They were pretty good for Rainbow Rocks. A lot better than the first Equestria Girls. For the way they looked. Anyway. Moving on. Let's talk about Microsoft.
Let's talk
And
about Microsoft.
their conference that they had. Where they
Ugh.
talked about Windows 10 and other things.
Here we go! I can't wait!
Should I just go?
So, yeah, you want to go talk about the Microsoft conference?
Let the dog loose from its chain!
All right. Well, first of all, we'll talk about the good that Microsoft did. I think Windows 10 is a great return to form for Microsoft after the debacle that was Windows 8 and Windows 8.1. 8.1 was like a band-aid. This is like they're finally doing the surgery and like getting the fucking like full thing done. Because they're bringing back the desktop view, which, thank God, mouse and keyboard users can actually use their computer again.
Yeah.
They're doing really interesting things with the platform itself, which I'm intrigued by because now Windows 10 is a desktop OS, it's a tablet OS, and a phone OS. So all the applications that are going to be in the Windows like store will work on every device, like all the way from like if you download an app on your phone, all those apps on your phone also will work on your desktop computer. It's one platform now, and it just scales the UI and how the interface works depending on the device you're on. So that's like a level of synergy that no platform has right now. Apple's been doing a lot with continuity on Mac OS 10 to kind of bridge the gap between iOS and OS 10, but like they're two different platforms. They run on different architectures, and there's like some handoff between the two, but they aren't the same thing, and they don't run the same software. Windows 10 will, and that's really interesting. And depending on how that's implemented, it'll be great. The only problem for Microsoft right now is that they have this great synergy between their phones and their computers, but nobody uses their phones because nobody has a Windows phone. You're either using an iPhone or an Android device. So it's a great technical achievement, but it's kind of a moot point in terms of like actual users benefiting from it. The other really cool thing they did was HoloLens, which is like this experiment that they're doing with Windows 10, and it's like kind of a mix of virtual reality and augmented reality. So virtual reality is clearly like, you know, a virtual environment that you're interacting with your physical body. And then augmented reality is basically where software overlays virtual things in your physical environment and you can interact with them. If you've ever used like those silly little apps on your phone that like you play games with the camera, so like little enemies are in like the room with you, that's an example of augmented reality. And Microsoft's taking that to the next level with this HoloLens thing. So you put on this visor, and you can like, if you're on a Skype call like we're on right now, like it'll stay in a little corner of your peripheral vision, and it'll like move around with you while you're talking. There's a camera on it too. So they had an example of like this girl was like working on like replacing some part of her sink, and she's talking to her dad presumably, and her dad like drew on his screen like, here's where you need to turn the things, and it popped up right on her field of view because she had the visor on. And then some guy was playing Minecraft, and like it scanned the room and like dropped all the Minecraft world like on top of the things in his house. So he's building like blocks on his table, and they were spilling over onto the ground of the floor of his room and stuff. So some really cool ideas going on there. I guarantee you it's not going to work like that at launch, like it was in this video, because it was clearly just like a pre-rendered video.
Just like the Kinect video.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The Kinect video was amazing, and now the Kinect's a piece of shit. So, like, how confident am I in like Microsoft's R&D and software development? Not too much, but the idea again is like really cool. But they fucked it up because you can't be Microsoft and not fuck up. So. They had this thing that I didn't even hear about until Paleo mentioned it to me earlier today.
Oh yeah, wait, before we move on to that,
okay.
There's something else that at the conference is that Phil Spencer, one of their speakers and guy who does things, I forgot what he actually does. Anyway, at the conference he was wearing a shirt with a logo on it, and the logo looks like Battletoads. So they might be Rare might be working on a Battletoads for Xbox One or something.
That would be
it's just
rad.
as impossible as the first games. I remember playing the first game. I remember like maybe a year ago. I went to my friend's house and I was like, "What do you want to do?" And he's like, "I got freaking Sega Genesis right here. Let's break out the Battletoads. We're gonna fucking play some Battletoads, and we're probably gonna be amazing now." And I was like, "All right, cool." So the first 2 levels we play it, we're like, "Yep, this is great. We're kicking everything's ass." And the 3rd level, we could not beat it, no matter how many times we played it. So I hope they make it just as impossible. And if they don't, then I hate them for the rest of my life.
Too bad it'll probably be an Xbox One exclusive.
Yeah.
Just leave. But speaking of Xbox, they fucked it up.
Yeah.
They fucked it up. So I guess Microsoft has like these terms of service or like user agreement things they have with using their content on YouTube. And apparently at this conference they updated their terms of service, and now it's like a bunch of draconian bullshit. And people are up in arms about it for good reason. Apparently now you can only upload footage of Xbox games to either Twitch or YouTube. No other sites are allowed. They'll instantly take it down. So sites like Hitbox
I didn't
or,
even know that.
or MLG, any of those things, you're not allowed. So like MLG can't broadcast Xbox games anymore, apparently. So you can only go on Twitch and you can only go on YouTube. All other sites are banned. You cannot... Well, another thing you have to do, you have to put this description in all of your videos saying like, this is not affiliated with Microsoft. This is copyright Microsoft Corporation. You have to put a link to all the rules in your video description or they'll pull it. You're not allowed to put the name of the game in the title of your video. And you're not allowed to use any of the logos and any of the graphics in your videos. Why? I have no idea. It's completely dumb. Assumedly, the reason is so Microsoft's videos on Halo will rank higher than your videos on Halo.
Yeah, like one thing I saw an article about like Microsoft responding to this, and they said they don't want their consumers to be confused.
What do you think, your consumers are retarded? Apparently, I mean they bought an Xbox One, so maybe you are making the right call on this. But I mean, still, it's not. It's made by Microsoft. It's not made by Microsoft. You're not going to see PewDiePie screaming at Master Chief and think, "Oh man, Microsoft, PewDiePie." Whatever. It's stupid. The funny thing is that Minecraft, which Microsoft just bought, is now owned by Microsoft, is exempt from all of these rules.
Yeah.
And the reason that Microsoft stated this is because Minecraft was built on YouTube. And they realized that without YouTube, Minecraft would not be as successful as it is now. Therefore, they're allowing Minecraft to thrive. Not realizing the complete hypocritical bullshit, because none of your other games are ever going to be able to grow to that level because you're blocking them off from YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly stupid. And it's amazing that there are people at Microsoft who are like, "This is a good idea. We're going to do this." But the truly greatest bullshit moment was something that not a lot of people are talking about, but I thought it was kind of worth mentioning. Because there's this whole document, and I can drop the link in the chat after this if you want to read over all their rules verbatim. But there's a little passage near the bottom that says, "What if I create something new in your universe?" And this is for any sort of like derivative content or derivative ideas based on Microsoft products. So like, people making like Halo videos and like adding to the story of Halo or whatever. And I could talk about. I'm just going to read it to you. I'm going to read it to you. This is what the rules from Microsoft now say. What if I create something new in your universe? Distribution of your item in any form constitutes a grant by you of a royalty-free, non-exclusive, irrevocable, transferable, sub-licensable, worldwide license to Microsoft and any of Microsoft partners or users to use, modify, and distribute that item and any derivatives of that item, and use your name if we choose to, for any purpose, and without obligation to pay you anything, obtain your approval, or give you credit. And this license to Microsoft survives any termination or expiration of these rules. This means that if you add to the game universe or expand on the story told in the game with lost chapters or backstory or anything like that, distribution of your story or idea may appear in a future game without any compensation to you. And then they have the gall to put this next statement in parentheses. Sorry, but our lawyers tell us we need to do this in order to avoid frivolous lawsuits getting in the way of making more great games. It also means we can put your item on a Microsoft site or property if we want to. First of all, fuck you. You are the lawyers. Don't act like there's some mysterious fucking thing. Second of all, you just have this entire giant fucking document telling me how me using your property to give you free advertising is gimped and I can't make money off it. I can only put it here. But if I have the gall to like your product enough to want to like think about it in any way and share it with someone, you have the right to steal it and not give me anything at the drop of a fucking hat. Who the fuck do you think you are? It's fucking disgusting. And the fact that this draconian bullshit is going on right now is incredible. So, bottom line, that's all I gotta say. fuck you guys. Good job with HoloLens, but fuck you guys.
Yep. It reminds me of the fact that there's a thing going on next month that you're not allowed to say the name of because it's trademarked.
It's true.
Yeah.
Can't say it.
You can say the big game.
Yeah, you can say the big game, but I can't say the thing. It's just like, really?
Yeah.
All right, people want to link to this, so I will link you to the actual Microsoft website that has all of this deliciousness in it.
Microsoft, aka the Nazis of game software development.
All right, I just added it to the chat. If you guys want to read over the rules in their entirety, it is from Xbox.com. It is their site.
All right. Let's move on to our last thing, which is just a quick little thing. Apparently, Christopher Moot Poole, the head of 4chan, is now no longer the head of 4chan.
Big fucking whoop, I don't care. Like,
apparently, to some people, 4chan is like a big deal, but I've never used 4chan, and I probably never will.
Yeah, this probably would have been a better topic to talk with Saber, because
I don't know.
You guys don't really go on it.
And nothing of value was lost. To keep to, their saying.
I mean, in Moot's defense, though, like, he started the site when he was 15.
Yeah.
And, like, now he's made, like, one of the most trafficked websites in the world. So, I mean, it's pretty impressive, especially when you consider the site looks like shit!
Yeah.
I don't think I spent more than, 10 minutes on that site.
Yeah, well, congratulations to him for, staying at the helm of it for this long. My question is, I wonder if we're going to see 4chan go to shit now.
Microsoft's going to buy it.
Yeah, Microsoft will buy it.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, I hope you can't wait for your new fresh memes. By the way, make sure you buy some Mountain Dew, and here's the Halo certificate.
Introducing 4chan M Mountain Dew, powered by Mountain Dew and Doritos. The exclusive new trailer for Call of Duty 17 is available exclusively on 4chan's M board. Sponsored by Mountain Dew.
All right. Let's move on to Q&A. So if you want to ask us questions, you can hit us up on Twitter. And
tweet at us.
Yeah, tweet at us. Ask a question. And then we'll answer it.
Yes.
I did get a couple of questions that I answered already through Twitter.
Oh.
Matt, jumping the gun.
Oh yeah, you're already doing it.
I already did it. And the two questions basically that I answered were, what is my favorite song at the moment, and what is the most expensive thing that I've ever bought? To which
Oh.
I answered, my car is the most expensive thing I ever bought. I spent $17,000 on that.
What about audio related?
Audio related, it has to be my SV1 keyboard, which is right here. This cost me about $1,000 to buy. And that's considerably a lot less than the keyboard costs, because the keyboard itself actually costs about $1,400. But I work at a music shop, I get discounts, whatever. My favorite song at the moment has to be a single that one of my favorite bands released recently, teasing their new album. It is a band called Hit the Lights, and they released a song called Fucked Up Kids. And it is basically, if you've ever heard my music and you've listened to like anything pop punk and anything like that, this is like that. And they're really, really good, and the song has me super excited for their album release. So check it out if you haven't already. It's one of my favorites.
Should we answer those questions too?
From Love and Sky. Yeah, she asked, or she or he, either one.
They use
they,
proper
yeah,
pronouns.
They asked. Oh, shut up.
Are you new to this podcasting?
Yeah, that was directed at us as well. It's like, what is the most expensive things you've ever bought?
Well, I know the most expensive thing I ever bought was in 2009. I bought a 15-inch MacBook Pro. That was $2,500. I don't have it anymore.
I'm
But
trying to think of what the most expensive thing I've bought. I think it was a laptop that I bought like a while back. It was like for $1,200. So I think that's the most expensive thing I've bought like at one time.
Laptops.
So
oh,
yeah.
the song was another question, right? What's your favorite song at the
Yeah,
moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite song at the moment, because like Spotify has introduced me to so many new songs and musics and stuff, is probably Illusion Aurora by a band called Sky Harbor. It's progressive metal. It's really good.
Mhm.
The whole album's really good.
I don't know currently. I listen to a lot of music, but I don't listen to like. Well, no, that's a lie. There are some songs that I listen to like constantly because I love it so much. But man, I'll just say "Flying Man" from the Mother soundtrack.
Mhm.
That's really good. I love it. Also, like "Wisdom of the World" from the Mother soundtrack. I need to like get a physical version of that soundtrack so I can listen to it in the car.
Do it. We can just burn a CD.
Also,
I want the physical version.
I'm just gonna say one thing. This year is gonna be a really good year for pop music. I can feel it.
Oh, yeah?
Because Hit the Lights is coming out with a new album, and they're just amazing. And another group called All Time Low is coming out with an album. They released a single recently called Something's Gotta Give. That's gonna get radio play. I know it is. So those two groups already, like they're both one of my favorite groups, and very I grab a lot of influence from them because they're just really good groups. They're both going to release new albums this year, and I just think it's going to be fantastic. So this is going to be a good year for pop music. So I'm looking forward to it.
I like music. I don't know
Okay.
much about music, but I like it. Matt, you
Re-
just send me
related-
links to
related,
all of your music stuff.
Yeah,
Love
in
and
fact,
Sky
I
Just
had-
want to do bands.
Yeah, Love and
That's-
Sky had one more question, and then we'll move on to somebody else. Is what is your favorite video game at this time? Like at this time, I guess
Favorite-
currently Smash Brothers is the thing I've been playing the most. So I guess that.
The games I've been playing right now are Guilty Gear Xrd and Terra Battle for iPhone, which is really good. It's by Miss Walker, so the guys who did Final Fantasy.
Oh,
They made a strategy RPG, and it's ridiculously addicting, and it's completely free, and it doesn't have any like that bullshit like pay to win things.
yeah.
Paleo, I don't know if you have a phone yet, but if you do, you should get Terra Battle.
Oh,
I think
I don't.
you'd like it a lot. It has multiplayer now, so it's really fun.
So I'm just gonna link the those two songs real quick.
Do it.
That's Something's Gotta Give by All Time Low, and the next one is going to be Fucked Up Kids by Hit the Lights. Both are really, really good. One of them obviously has some language in it, but that shouldn't bother you guys, being the nature of this podcast and the very name of it. So, but
That's what the
my
S stands for?
I thought it stood for strawberry. But my favorite video game at the moment, I'll be completely honest, I'm not like a gamer or anything like that. Like, I don't really go after like, oh man, this game's gonna be great when it gets released, I'm gonna buy it. So the game that I play the most at the moment that I'm just gonna say is Team Fortress 2. And I bought Red Orchestra recently. What was it called? They came out with some new DLC. I don't know. It's a World War II shooter. It's multiplayer online. It's kind of like Battlefield 1942 in a sense, but like it's way more involved, and the mechanics of the game are a lot more intense. Like you don't just jump in a tank and drive a tank and shoot. Like 3 or 4 people have to be in the tank to operate the entire tank. So
Yeah.
the game is like really in depth. So like if you want like a realistic World War II shooter, I'm just getting into this now, and I think it's gonna be really cool. All sorts of things in the game that make it like it makes it feel like a military simulator as much as it is a video game. So I'm looking forward to playing that a lot more. But as of like right now, my favorite game as a pastime, I like playing Team Fortress 2, only because I've got the mechanics down of it, and it's a love-hate relationship. So
Yeah. Okay. I got a question from Jason Prince. So what do you expect the new Fire Emblem big game to be about, and will you do videos on it? As far as what it's about, I'm not entirely sure.
It's about an emblem that's on fire, clearly. Jeez.
Like, this one seems to have a lot more, like, mythical creatures in it, like, than usual. Like, a lot of weird stuff. I can't remember the name of the person who's directing it.
Look it up.
Crap. I gotta look it up now. But I am probably going to be doing videos on it.
I probably will not, because I do not have a 3DS. If someone would like to donate me a 3DS, send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll do 3DS videos.
my brother got
Okay.
me the 3DS for Christmas.
If you're going to get a shiny new 3DS and you have nothing to do with your old 3DS, donate it to this faggot right here.
Oh, it says it's written by a Japanese comic book writer, Shin Kibayashi. Or Kaibayashi.
What has he done?
Let's see. I don't know. Here, there's a link to all of the things that he's done.
You couldn't bother to just skim it for me and let me know you're going to read the article myself?
You know what's funny? Do you remember that whole like what's the most expensive thing you bought thing? I'm gonna retract what I said before. My MacBook.
Oh.
It's more expensive than your car?
No, but Paleo said aside from your car because that's a little
Yeah.
different. I mean, yeah, a car is expensive, but anyway.
Well, he said audio, so that wasn't specifically audio.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Everybody wins. Matt has the most money out of all of us. I don't know if you can tell, Mr. I bought a car and like have that much money worth of audio gear just right behind me right now in my camera view. So if you're going to rob one of us, rob Matt.
Yeah. He's got the most stuff.
Listen, I work for my money. Thank you. I have the full-time job that I'm going part-time now.
Wow, listen, he has some money and all of a sudden he sounds like a Republican. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Okay, listen. If you want to get anybody riled up about politics, it's the guy who owns the place that I work at. He is insanely passionate about it, and he is as right-wing as they get. So,
Wow.
but oh hey, I'm just gonna answer this question really quick. Loyal just asked me a question. It's really quick to answer. Matt, what is up with the long hair? I just grow it out during the winter. Really, that's all there is to it. I don't feel like cutting my hair in the winter because my hair keeps me warm, and it kind of looks nice. And I kind of made a conscious decision like maybe 4 months ago. I was like, I kind of like the way I look with long hair sometimes, so I decided to just grow it out. That's all.
All right. Here's a question from Jay Baskerville. What are you going to play after Out of This World, also known as Another World? I actually just finished that today, and I'm going to have it on my gaming channel later this week, the finale of it. After I finish playing that, I'm going to play... there's actually 2 games I'm going to start up. Is Freedom Planet, which Hirosashi actually gave me for Christmas last year. And that's like a sort of Sonic clone, but it looks really fun. And I'm also going to be playing Citizens of Earth, which is a game that came out last week, and it's very Earthbound-esque. So I'm excited to play that because it seems like people have said that like if you love Earthbound, you're gonna love this. So I'm excited to play that. But yeah, that's about my gaming channel. If you want to go to my gaming channel, it's linked below the Twitch stream. You can see below there. Anyway, Tom, you got a question?
Lunar Knight asked me, what do you guys think of the recent State of the Union address?
Oh my god.
P.S. Republicans got burned. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on it? Because did anybody watch it besides me? 'Cause
I
did watch
listened to it because I was taking a bath at the time. I was like listening to it from downstairs.
Naked politics.
Yeah, like I heard like Obama talking. I heard about Obama talking about free community college, which I'm like, well, that'd be nice.
It's free 2 years tuition for the people going to work for it. So I'm just gonna guess that if in your first year you get like shitty grades,
yeah, you're out.
That they cut it off. I'm gonna assume that this is basically just an extended and probably much more in-depth version of financial aid.
Well,
Right.
yeah, because the whole thing is like, it's free tuition, not free college, free tuition.
Right.
Yeah,
It doesn't cover any of the fees, so your tuition's only like a couple $100. Then the fees are like the thousands of dollars.
See,
So-
and that's the thing. Like the tuition at my community college was one of the most expensive things at the college when I attended it. It was $1,300 per semester. It was $1,300 per semester, which is kind of expensive because it's a New York college. But the rest of the shit that they got you on was all the like out-of-pocket expenses. The stuff like you gotta get the books.
yeah.
How
Dude,
they're,
my sister went back to school last week for 3 days before she decided no, because she went back to get another major in information technology, and they have this thing now where you have to pay $95 to access some online website just to do your homework on top of books and everything else.
Right.
And she was gonna have to take 7 classes with that. She'd pay $700 just to do homework. It's ridiculous.
right. So no, thank you, but no.
But I mean, just to talk about the State of the Union in a general sense, I'm like a political radical, so maybe I'm not the best person to ask about this. I think we should abolish the monetary system and establish a resource-based economy and get rid of all politicians and base our entire social structure around science and like observable like phenomena instead of political opinion. But I think there was a lot of like really pleasing rhetoric stated in the State of the Union to get people on Obama's side. I think he delivered a lot of things that people want to hear, but I think the Democratic Party in general makes policy based around feeling good that doesn't really work in the system that we have in place, whereas Republicans worship the system to the detriment of the people who have to live in it. So I think both parties are kind of dumb in their own way. So I think Obama like towed the line for his party pretty well, but I think a lot of it's going to be empty talk that's not going to establish much,
Yeah.
especially considering we have a Republican-controlled Senate now, which is actively going to veto everything that he's going to try and do, and vice versa. So I think the next like 2 years, nothing is going to happen in America that isn't on the state level.
No.
The state level, tons of things will happen,
Yeah.
but on the
Like,
national
for
level,
the
it's
free
going to be a
tuition thing,
deadlock.
like
until
it's
the
already
end.
been done in like what in somewhere in Tennessee and somewhere in Illinois.
Yeah.
Right. So nothing's going to happen for the next 2 years, which I totally anticipated. And what's going to happen is a new election's going to come along, and a new Republican candidate's going to come about and be like, do you want nothing to happen the last 8 years? And everybody's going to vote for that person. And
then everyone's going to hate him, and then we're like, man, I wish we had a Democrat in office. Then
And
8
I'm
years
super-
later, the cycle will
Yeah.
continue.
and I'm hoping not, but I did hear speculation that another Bush is
Yeah,
running
Jed
for
Bush.
office.
The dumbest
So-
of the Bushes.
Exactly. So basically, no one's fucking learned anything.
Yeah.
No one. So, what do we need in office? Another big giant fuck up. So I'm looking forward to it. The pendulum's gonna swing the
Yeah.
other way, and we're just gonna watch.
We're old
And-
enough now that we've had experience seeing the whole thing happen, so we're just going to be some of those jaded people now, just like, you damn kids. It's going to be fun.
So, yeah, State of the Union, yay!
Enough about politics. Let's talk about cartoons or something. What else we got going on?
Somebody asked us a pretty interesting question. I think we should all answer it
What?
because I think it's a very subjective question.
All right.
What's the one thing you've always wanted to do, though it'll never happen?
Is this like within the realms of reality or like?
Yeah.
Because I
I don't
really
know.
I want to be a Super Saiyan, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
When I was little, I wanted to be a dinosaur.
I like turtles.
I wanted to be Godzilla, so I mean, I'm not too far.
Oh
off.
yeah, that's yeah.
I I have a legitimate answer, only because it probably won't happen. If it does, then I'll eat my words, but I would love it if one day I got to go out into space for just a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'd love to see alien life. That'll probably never happen in my lifetime.
My laptop.
In your laptop.
My
That'll
lifetime.
probably never-
Lifetime, more like
aliens
laugh
in my
time.
laptop.
I would love to go to space though, and I don't know. There's so much required to go into space. Like you got most of the people that have gone into space have either been in the Air Force or the military. I mean, there's some ordinary people that have been in space, but there is some extraordinary, very extensive training you got to go through. And in the kind of condition that I'm in,
Well,
probably,
there's
I
some
don't know.
companies working on commercial space flight. So I mean, depending on how that goes, I mean, you still got like what 50 or plus years left. You know, you could be like 78 years old with your cane hobbling onto that spaceship, and the takeoff kills you, but you made it. You made it. Dream accomplished.
Heart attack.
Yeah. You know, you just look down back at Earth, and that excitement, that rush just kills you. But
You're like,
you did it. Exactly.
I don't even want to look down at Earth because whatever. This planet, cool. I want to look out into that void. That is just nothing. Cause
You see that video that Bvids posted on Tumblr
yeah.
days ago when it zoomed in further and further,
hmm
to show the massive scale of space. Yeah.
That blew my mind because it's just we're just gonna take a picture, a small portion of our nearest galactic neighbor. We're gonna just span it out all over the screen. You're gonna see nothing but billions and billions of stars with the possibility of solar systems and planets that all have the possibility for life. There is millions and billions and just billions upon of possibilities for life in this planet, all in that one portion of one galaxy that is just a minuscule in this whole entire universe. And it's
Yeah.
just if you want to feel insignificant and nothing on this world matters, that video just wakes you up. And it's
Yeah,
so,
the cosmic perspective is really humbling. I love it.
really is. Really amazing. That video was awesome. I loved it.
all right. Zachary Weiner. Is it Weiner or Weiner? Wait, that's Voice of Reason, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
Let's say Zachary Weiner. I like that one.
I see that one too.
Yeah, it says any non-pony conventions you plan to attend this year.
I might go to Anime Boston just because it's close, and I might go to DrawnCon, which is kind of a pony convention, but not really. Just because they're both really close.
I had the chance to go to MadFest, but I couldn't really afford to do necessary things because Hirosashi has a friend who's near MagFest that he could have stayed with, so we could have went there. But I'd like to go to SGC in Texas, and also I'd really like to go to Retropalooza, which is also in Texas, and that's where
That sounds like your jam.
yeah, it has a bunch of different vendors of retro video games and stuff, and it's only going to be their third year, so it's not going to be quite as crowded as other conventions.
I have no convention plans, only because I guess because my schedule with my job and everything kind of prevents me from being able to really go to these kinds of things. I mean, I'm going part-time at my job soon, so a lot of that time is going to probably be freeing up soon, but only because I wanted to start being a lot more productive with my online pursuits. I would have liked to have gone to MagFest, but not really in my plans at the moment. I'd like to perform at MagFest, but I need to establish a whole nother fan base, I guess, another base, I guess, in order to really get onto that.
Yeah.
And there haven't been any other conventions that really caught my eye. I don't actively look for conventions to go to, I guess. I mean, if anybody's ever hey man, there's a convention's going on, and maybe you should come, or something like that, and I don't think it's that out of my way of my scheduling and finances, then yeah. But at the moment, and even this is even for pony conventions and stuff like that too, which I mean is wearing thin on me now because I'm getting kind of tired of going to them. I really have no convention plans this year, so
Yeah, I have nothing set in stone right now either. I mean, I might end up going to BronyCon just because I want to hang out with everybody again. But
Right.
even that's up in the air, just because I don't think I'll be doing a panel this year, and that means I have to pay to go to get my
Yeah.
badge.
Well, you have.
And I'm
Well, if you want to
poor.
do panel, you have to do it soon, like or play for it soon.
Right.
and
I
then
don't.
you'll
I don't
get
think
the
I'm going to
badge.
do one, just because I don't
Yeah.
think. I don't think I'm probably going to do much season 5 coverage. So I don't. I'd feel. I feel like I'm taking up a slot that I shouldn't on a panel like that. If I was going to go,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
because I just have other
And-
things. Plus, I'm
and
trying
I-
to save up to move out of the house like within the next like year and a half or so.
That's
So
good.
I need to bank some cash.
Yeah. Conventions take a lot out, so
Mm-hmm.
It's a good $500 to $1,000 depending on what you
yeah,
end up doing
how
there.
far you're going.
Right. And I probably won't perform at BronyCon this year either because it gradually got a lot more busy, I guess you can say. And like you think that going to a con and performing at a con is like an opportunity to be like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna get paid to go and perform at a con, and then I'll be able to hang out with people, stuff like that. It's not the way it is at all. You wind up becoming just as much as part of the staff there as like they are, and they're not performing. So like you just become really busy. You rarely get to see any of the people that you really want to hang out with all that much, and it's kind of a pain because it's getting a little, I don't know, things that I won't say here. I'm tired of that. I like hanging out with people at the cons, but there's things behind the scenes that I would rather avoid now. So
Yeah. So, any more questions? If you guys want to ask on Twitter, we'll go on until like 10:30, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
yeah,
Yeah.
fine, yeah. Love and Sky asked a question. Maybe you guys would feel like answering too.
Which
What job would you get if you could have any job in the world?
I actually
any
know.
job?
I know. I have an answer for this.
What?
Why don't you go
I would
first?
work for a technology editorial website, something like Engadget or Anintech or 9 to 5 Mac or something like that. Because I like writing, and I love technology, and I love to get paid to write about it and go to trade shows and report on things.
No, yeah.
Because I live for that stuff anyway. If I had to get like a real job, like an actual just like career job, I'd be a writer for a site like that.
Aren't you planning to do like a tech channel sort of thing? I mean, that'd be great if you did something like that, just so that you can have like a credential to show a company like that and be like, hey, you know, I would love to see what we can work out. Maybe we.
Yeah,
can
I mean,
work
I'd love if I can find the time to fit something like that in. I want to start it. So it's just finding the time and the resources because you got to like really have good production value and you need money to get
Yeah.
gear. And like tech is expensive. Look, I'm just gonna buy every MacBook Pro that comes out this year. No big deal. My AdSense will pay for it all.
I guess it's a sense of like risking it, I guess, because in order to like actually do something, I guess you gotta like start like sacrificing some of that comfort. Like, I don't know. There's a difference between being completely financially irresponsible and then being like uncomfortable with doing something, but the gamble you're taking is something that could potentially come back and give you your just rewards, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I mean, if anything, you can start small. Like things that aren't too out of your reach to afford to get. I mean, like, computer components it's probably a great spot to start. Like motherboards.
If I was gonna
and stuff
start
like that.
a channel, what I'd probably do, I probably wouldn't even do reviews at all. I'd probably do like editorial pieces, like commenting on the news, like that
Oh,
comes out, like
yeah.
covering things like that. That way you don't
Yeah,
have to.
that's
buy
a
things.
really good way to get some traction because it's recent, current, and people are looking for that. So
I
Right.
could rant about fucking bullshit YouTube policies that
Yeah.
Microsoft pulled. So I mean things like that. That's probably how I would start it. And if it takes off and like I get a Patreon and get money, like one of the goals would probably be I have $2,000 like I can spend on buying kit to talk about each like every 3 months or something, whatever. So
for me, if we're talking about any job, I would probably say something about working with dolphins. I'd love to do that, but like during school I wasn't as passionate as other people, so I figured, okay, this is not something I should do. But yeah, I love to work with those animals because they're just so cool. So or something
It's
like that.
funny. It's funny how and I'm just gonna say this only because school can really kill your ambitions to do something.
Yeah.
even when you're certain that it is what you're gonna do, it is your life. Because I went to school for music. I went to school for college. I went to school for
college.
I went to school for music for 2 years, and I'll tell you right now, music education has to be some of the boringest shit in the world. Like, if you want to kill like your drive to do anything music related, just learn about like music. Like, because I guess if you haven't done it early yet, like if you weren't like really young and decided or was put, or it was put against you against your own will, like to read music and stuff like that, if you haven't established any of that by the time you're in college, like, and you know how to read music, you know how to understand it and stuff like that, learning it in college is going to be the bane of your existence, because they're going to treat you like a child, you're going to feel like a child, and you're not going to feel like you really belong there, and you're going to feel like you don't want to learn any of it, because you're going to realize very quickly that learning the language of music is going to take just as long as it is to learn any other language in written history, because it is exactly what it is. It's a language, so it's hard to really learn.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. I guess for me, like a job, I've been thinking about this a lot more recently, only because like in music, there's just so many different things you can do, and there's so many different things about music that I really enjoy, and I'm absolutely certain that no matter what job I hold, it's going to have something to do with it, because I am not going to accept anything else. Like, I can't do retail, and if I am doing retail, the bare minimum would have to be in a music store like I'm doing now, and I hate even that. So, I guess where I'd like to end up, ideally, it'd be really cool if, like, I was working at some kind of a studio. Like,
yeah.
Like, there are a bunch of audio studios out there that's like that they cater themselves to something specific, like their particular field of study. I was reading up on a bunch of I think there was one called Cherry Bomb Studios. They specialize in video game audio, like sound design for video games. So whenever a video game developer is like, we need explosions and gun sounds and things that just sound amazing, they go to the studio, and the guys there have a bunch of credentials and a huge list, and they're professionals. You ask them for this stuff, and they're able to do it. So they're a sound design team for just video games, and that's awesome. There are other studios out there that do music and do soundtracks for movies. They do soundtracks for games, for cartoons and stuff like that. I would love to establish a studio with me and another really great team that just goes ahead and just writes music for animations, for whatever, because I think that'd be really fun. And then on the side, just write my own little tunes and have a nice little fan base to go through with that. I think that's ideally where I want to end up, and what I'm working towards right now. So, again, money, saving up to move out to, possibly LA, which is what it's looking like at the moment. So, lots of hard work involved with that. Like, you just got to be disciplined enough to really, go after it. So,
yeah. All right. From Blaziken God. Let's see. I'm not sure if you received this question before, but earlier. But what was your opinion on the Screw Attack show Death Battle? I've watched a couple of them. I don't really watch them as much as like Jax does. I know Jax always watches them. Like he's linked me the one that they recently did with Kirby and Majin Buu. That was funny.
I've seen Death Battle a few times.
Oh, okay.
I like the matchups they do. I think the production values on some of the fights are just okay. But the research that goes into some of them are really good. Like the Goku versus Superman one had a lot of like really like nerdy research done in to come to the conclusion, because it was such like a divisive kind of topic, Yeah, I think the research is good. I think the fights could be better. There's another show on YouTube that does some stuff similar. I think it's called Superpowered Beatdown. And they have like live action fights. Like they actually get guys like cosplay the characters and like choreograph like actual like fight scenes. And like I remember they did the White Ranger versus Scorpion, and they had two guys in like legit costumes like duking it out. And they got Jason David Frank to come on set and do stuff for it too, who's Tommy Oliver, the White Ranger from the show. So that was a really cool show. I prefer the fights from that show because they're choreographed, it's live action, and they're much better. Like the ones in Death Battle are usually done with 2D sprites. But no, I think the matchups in Death Battle are better. Like they did Ragnar the Blood Edge versus Soul from Guilty Gear, which is a good match because I like both of those games. But yeah, it's okay. It's not. I mean, I don't like watch it religiously. I'm not subscribed, but I'll catch them every now and then when there's characters that pique my interest.
All right. Another from Love and Sky. Jeez, asking a lot of questions. What is your favorite soda that you absolutely love? For me, it's Sundrop. Sundrop all the way.
Well, I have like two answers. In terms of what's currently available, Baja Blast is number one, because Taco Bell is my church. But in terms of all time, I really miss Tropical Sprite Remix from like the early 2000s. That was the best soda ever made. It was like liquid Skittles. It was so good. And the day they discontinued that, I like wept. It was the best soda in the world, and I miss it. And I look on eBay every now and then, like maybe someone's got a bottle, and I can't find it. They have the raspberry one or whatever that came out after it. That's bullshit. It's all about the Tropical Sprite. That was the best, and it's just gone.
Same answer for you on the Baja Blast. A recent addition though, because I eat at Five Guys a lot. Mr. Pibb has become
Really.
I think my favorite over Dr. Pepper because they've got the cherry vanilla mixture, and that is a really hard contender to go against, especially when you could like mix it in the fucking machines that Five Guys has over there. Like you go to Mr. Pibb on the big machine, and it's like you got 3 variations. Mr. Pibb Extra, which I'm gonna guess they just overload it with just crack.
Yeah.
Cherry vanilla, and then just cherry. So if you want a drink that'll like just melt your mind, just mix all 3 of those in a big cup. Like that is good, and that's been a favorite of mine recently. Like I can go to Five Guys right now and pick one up. It'd be so good. Unhealthy, but good.
Yeah. You guys got any more questions?
Let me see. Hey Tom, how sexy do you think Matt is?
8 out of 8. Great.
8 out of 8.
Fat
Great.
bait, mate.
Oh, there was a question from Twist. Anyone excited for Pokken Tournament? That's gonna be very interesting because it's a Pokemon fighting game.
I'm intrigued because it's Pokemon, and I'm really interested to see how they animate all the characters because it's not going to be like a regular fighting game where everyone's humanoid. So the animation style and how they interact with each other and like fighting is going to be really cool. However, it's made by the guys who made Tekken, and I hate the way Tekken plays. It's way too slow, and it's really heavy. So if it plays like Tekken, I'll probably be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to play like Tekken.
I know. So I'm like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
Right.
But hey, it's probably gonna be the best fighter on the Wii U. Because there's
it comes
nothing
out
on
on
the
Wii U. I mean, right now it's just gonna be arcade only.
It'll come out on the Wii U.
Arcade? Who the hell goes to arcades anymore?
Japan.
Japan is a huge arcade scene,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Anyway, if that's all the questions we're gonna have, then let's go ahead and end the show. So,
Actually, Love and Sky has another question. They just posted it 26 seconds ago.
Really?
It said, as a very small YouTuber, how long does it usually take for you guys to make and produce your videos / music?
I can't answer that accurately at the moment, only because I guess when I first started doing it, I had this sense of like fearlessness of releasing content, not caring how really good it sounded or whether or not it was technically correct to release it. Nowadays, I just do nothing but read articles and practice different kinds of production with my music. So however long it might take for me to release something nowadays, it's completely subject to whatever I'm doing now, because I'm currently working on 2 different EPs. a couple of different songs that are just going to be going straight forward to release. And depending on who I'm working with to get that stuff done for art and stuff like that, and for video editing and stuff like that, I mean, I have a song coming out very, very soon. It's called the Pizza Song. And so far, I've only been working on that for 2 weeks. So by the time the music gets done, well, by the time the art gets done, rather, and I shoot it off to get a video done for it, that'll probably be out in about 3 weeks' time. So, I mean, for a single song release, 3 weeks tops for me, given the amount of time that I have to work on it, which is 2 days off a week and 5 days working full-time at a store, which is why I'm cutting down to going part-time at my job, because I want to focus more on doing this, which will increase and probably double my production time, and I'll be able to get more stuff out for you guys, and as well as doing some other video projects that I wanted to do. So at the moment, it's kind of scattered. I'm going to say, though, for a song at the moment, it would take me about 3 weeks to get a song done.
For, like, me and Tom, I think it really depends on the video of what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the majority of the time for me is definitely spent editing. When I have to edit, a lot of the times I'll try and shoot things off the Formula Dash to edit for me, just because I have like a bunch of projects that I haven't really been talking about in the works that I'm hopefully going to be able to start like showing off a little bit in the next couple days. So like this, I'm working on this one teaser for this big mystery project I've been hinting at for the last couple weeks, and that's probably taken me 2 or 3 months, and it's still not done to get just this little teaser for this big project. The whole project, if I follow through from start to finish, is going to take me 5 years to completely finish. So it's a huge project. But then videos will, take like a week because I got to get them done every week. And now I'm doing videos every other week, and I'm trying to find ways to do videos faster. I want to either get more out or spend less time on them so I can focus on new projects I'm trying to start. So for me, I mean, usually it'll take 2 to 3 days, probably a grand total of 10 to 15 hours of work from writing to finished editing if I'm doing it completely by myself. Don't laugh at my workflow, Matthew!
I'm not laughing at your workflow. I'm sorry, I was laughing at something else. Anyway.
Oh.
That was something.
In your face.
Something in my head. No, I'm not laughing at your face. I like your face, Tom.
Now, for me, it's a bit quicker for me, just because like there's not a lot to my videos except for like screenshots and then cutting it down. But recording, like for recording, like my camera, like I don't write a script. I just put in notes. I used to write scripts, and that would take a bit. But now I just use notes and then I go off of that. And for recording, it takes me anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes to record for like a 2 or 5 minute video, because like I trip over my words a lot, so I have to do a lot of retakes. But and then editing takes a couple hours, and then you gotta render, then you gotta upload. But yeah, for me it doesn't take that often, which is why I'm trying to do more videos. So I'm doing like 3 videos a week now. So yeah, it depends on the type of videos you make, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just starting out, don't feel like you failed if it takes a long time to make a video. Because it's still a learning process, and you're trying to figure out what your format is and what your style is and stuff like that. So, I mean, some of my projects, like the best projects I've done, take forever. And, like, that doesn't mean I did worse on them. It's just, like, some are more involved. So I think the time that it takes is largely irrelevant as long as you're meeting your deadlines. You should definitely have deadlines and a release schedule of some sort to make your content predictable so your viewers know when it's coming out. So if you're going to say, like, I release every Saturday, it doesn't matter if it takes you, like, 5 minutes before that time or, like, the entire week. Make sure it gets out on Saturday. So less about how long a product takes, more about making sure it gets out on time is probably what I'd worry about.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess we're done.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, so we're going to be, well, me and Saber are going to be here not next week, but the week after that, if he's ready. If not, I'll probably have you two guys on again. It was fun.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Anyway, this will be posted up to YouTube tomorrow. So, if you missed it tonight, It'll be up tomorrow, and I'm talking from the past. So, yeah. Show's over. Bye.